expansive panorama of San Francisco with the Golden Gate Bridge in the distance. Ever wonder what steps a small business needs to follow to send a satellite into orbit? A space company might succeed or fail based on a complicated web of laws, which extend beyond the state-of-the-art technology and substantial capital. An animated spacecraft scuttling through a bureaucratic labyrinth of paperwork. It might be difficult for young space entrepreneurs to navigate this regulatory labyrinth. This is where Aegis Space Law enters the picture with the revolutionary space regulatory calculator. Bailey Reichelt addressing the camera straight. Hello, as a partner and co-founder of Aegis Space Law, my name is Bailey Reichelt. We've worked with a number of space businesses, and they all face the same issue. They put off regulatory planning until after they've secured engineering and money. This negligence may result in expensive errors and delays. An anxious-looking space startup team sorting through stacks of documents in a conference room. Pretend to be a satellite service provider. You've located the ideal international antenna array at a reasonable price. There's a catch, though: the operating frequency results in a costly and time-consuming regulatory burden. An expensive mistake that could have been prevented with careful preparation. An animated timeline illustrating the various regulatory periods and their lengths. Timelines for regulations don't always line up with those of other projects. For a startup, missing these deadlines might mean disaster. In the past, businesses have relied on attorneys to help them manage these rules, but this luxury is out of reach for many startups in space. The Office of Bailey Reichelt. Bailey Reichelt is totally nonsensical for a cash-strapped corporation to pay tens of thousands of dollars in legal fees ahead of employee salaries. We must take down these obstacles in order to guarantee the space industry's prosperity. Cut 2. A demonstration of the Space Regulatory Calculator interface. For this reason, on June 4, Aegis Space Law introduced the Space Regulatory Calculator. The State Department, the FAA, the Commerce Department, the FCC, NOAA, and other agencies all have regulations pertaining to space that American enterprises must comprehend and abide by. This free web tool assists them in doing so. An animated scene in which the calculator breaks complicated rules down into simple steps. The Space Regulatory Calculator helps space startups stay compliant with regulations by assuring they have enough time to arrange for the approvals they'll need at least 2 years in advance of project launch. Lawyers from Aegis Space Law adjusting the calculator at work. In order to give companies the most recent information, Aegis attorneys are dedicated to updating the calculator as regulations change. Bailey Reichelt discussing at a bootcamp for space regulation. The non-profit Association of Commercial Space Professionals was founded in large part thanks in part to Aegis Space Law. Their lawyers teach at the association's Space Regulatory Bootcamp, contributing to the expansion of the space industry. Cut 2. A happy crew celebrating the successful satellite launch of a booming space firm. The future of the space business appears promising because to resources such as the Space Regulatory Calculator and the commitment of companies like Aegis Space Law. We're opening the door for success and innovation in space by removing regulatory obstacles. Earth from Space with the words, empowering space startups for a brighter tomorrow. Are you prepared to traverse the stars? Take off on your voyage right now with the Space Regulatory Calculator from Aegis Space Law. For additional information, see to the website of Aegis Space Law.